Most of the time when we talk about productivity, everyone is just focusing on how we should work, what we should do. But personally, I found that I would start feeling drowsy after food, especially lunch and heavy breakfast. Then I started thinking if what I have been eating every day is my biggest enemy in staying productive. I learned a lot of good eating habits when I was working in hospitals with hundreds of reports written by dietitians for different cases. And I just realized our eating habit is awful, but not our fault as it's a habit from our family since young. And it's also not too late to change now. Not sure if everyone has the same thought about healthy food. Whenever people around me start a healthy food challenge, their everyday meal is those expensive food which typical people can never afford them from day to day. Eating healthily does not mean expensive ingredients like salmon, avocado, berries, organic food, etc. Although their nutritional values might be higher, but it is not sustainable in the long run. We want to show you low-cost ingredients can be as healthy as expensive stuff as well. Basically, a meal has to be made up by 3 main portions, which are carbohydrates, vegetable, and protein. For me, I think fruit is important when you have no vegetable in that meal, but if you have had enough, then it's up to you. There are 2 types of people. Some will think carbohydrate is something that makes our stomach full so we can eat more, while another category of people will think carbohydrate is not good so we should eat less or eliminate it from our plate. I would say not eating carbohydrate totally is as bad as eating too much of it. Everything in our life needs a balance, isn't it? While not eating too much of carbohydrates to control blood sugar, it's recommended to have carbs for 1/3 of a dinner plate. Selection of carbs is important also. Carbs can be broken down into 2 broad categories, simple and complex. Simple carbs like white rice, white bread, pastries, and rich or refined noodles are bad ones. Many of the necessary nutrients are removed and they will be digested quickly, causing blood sugar spikes and making you feel hungry sooner. Good carbs, on the other hand, is complex carbs. For example, starchy vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn, and whole grains like brown rice, oats, whole wheat bread, and noodles. We can use this food to fulfill our body's needs for carbs while staying healthy and productive at the same time. Soba noodles like what Daniel has prepared is also a good source of complex carbs. By consuming complex carbs, they provide a sustained release of energy, preventing energy crashes and helping us stabilize our blood sugar levels. Moving on to the vegetables, this is quite simple as long as you eat more leafy vegetables and avoid those starchy ones. Be mindful that spinach is high in oxalates, so it's better to boil it rather than eat it raw. If you want to have a quick meal, you can choose to follow what Daniel did, which is to boil the leafy vegetable first, followed by blanching, draining, and finally pack them according to your serving size and freeze them. If you are not sure how much vegetable you should consume, the healthy eating plate suggests half of the dinner plate together with fruits. You may top up your vegetables with a small portion of fruits like apple, orange, grapes, kiwis, but not too much as fruits contain a lot of sugar even if it is not sweet. Another important element is protein. Eggs, fish and seafood, dairy products like yogurt and cheese, as well as lean meats like chicken, pork loin, beef are excellent sources of protein. Lean meat usually refers to meat with lower fat content. If you are vegetarian or vegan, you can consider soy products like tofu, tempeh, and edamame, also beans like black beans, chickpeas. Try your best to avoid processed food like sausage, bacon, meat substitutes as they contain lots of sodium, which is salt, additives, and less nutritious than minimally processed food. The portion for meals should be 1/3 of a dinner plate, similar to carbs. Cooking method is important too. I usually boil or steam them as that's the easiest way for me, but it can be less delicious for some people. It's okay to fry it, don't be too strict to yourself as it will never be sustainable, but you will give up faster. However, try your best to avoid deep-fried food because oily food can increase fatigue as they cause your brain to release hormones like serotonin and tryptophan, which can make you feel sleepy. If you feel that it's not enough for you, or you actually feel hungry after a few hours but it is still not dinner time yet, you can consider having some snacks. A productive snack can be light fat plus fiber combo, or a small portion of natural sugar. For example, nuts like almond, walnuts, Brazil nuts, small banana or apple, black sesame tangyuan, or herbal jelly. In order to avoid stopping yourself from the last sprint before home or too full for dinner, keep yourself away from heavy sugary cakes, quail with a lot of coconut milk, and overly sweet drinks. Actually, eating healthily to keep your productivity is not necessary to buy expensive ingredients, eating fancy stuff, or supplements. Simple and cheap food can be playing an important role as well. Most importantly, don't overregulate yourself. As long as you can maintain it in your working days for breakfast and lunch, then your productivity can be increased. Trust me, you'll be alright.